All systems are a go for Matthew Stafford for Thursday's Rams season opener. And by the way, Andrew Whitworth, not coming out of retirement. Nothing really tops a sad cowboy, doesn't it? Oh, and by the way, the Dodgers' magic number? Single digits. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. It is September 5th, 2022. I'm in a terrific mood. Going to spend the day with the wife after I'm done with this clip. But I want to start off by thanking the new subscribers who joined the channel yesterday. I appreciate every last one of you. If you like the content that we put out about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. I dropped way too much content over the weekend. I'm tired of hearing my own voice. I'm perfectly willing to hear yours. Now, before we go through the news and notes, we take a quick look at the scoreboard. The Dodgers dropped their magic number to 9. Will Smith hit a home run. So did Trace Thompson, the guy that San Diego cut earlier this year. Dodgers 9, Padres 4. Bye-bye, San Diego. Bye-bye. Not gonna miss you. Meanwhile, in MLS, Christian Arango scored. LAFC snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 2-0 victory over RSL. By the way, we also posted a rapid recap of the Galaxy match last night. Chicharito scored twice, but missed a critical penalty in stoppage time. Galaxy 2, Sporting Kansas City 2. If the playoffs started today, by the way, Galaxy are not in. Yikes. So, by the way, for today, the Giants will play the Dodgers at 7. That's Andrew Heaney, 2-1. Logan Webb, 11-8. When asked if he would trust Matthew Stafford to throw more than 50 passes if he needed it in a game, like say the season opener Thursday against Buffalo, Sean McVay said, quote, no hesitation, unquote. Now, Stafford, for his part, you might remember, he had been shut down for the majority of the offseason workouts, the training activities. He had had some elbow issues, got a couple of shots. They weren't necessarily sure how it was coming along. Stafford, for his part, said he felt like he could make any throw that he wanted to. So, apparently, and they have no choice, by the way, it's not like you're going to trust John Wolford to lead them back to the Super Bowl. All systems have to be go for Matthew Stafford. By the way, if you're wondering, Sean McVay is 5-0 in season openers, but I have to acknowledge the Bills might be their toughest opponent yet in a season opener. Also, Jalen Ramsey, who had shoulder surgery in the offseason, he's a go for the season opener. The Rams, this is an oddity. The Rams are keeping a locker open for Odell Beckham Jr. What? Okay, so Odell, as you might recall in the Super Bowl, he blew out his knee. He's having his second knee surgery. They loved having him on the team, but he's a free agent. He hasn't signed anybody, and it's been getting weird. Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't invited to Sean McVay's wedding, showed up anyway. McVay was like, hey, man, it's all good, even though you didn't bring anything on the registry, and my wife loves kitchen utensils. Whatever. They're still into each other. It's really, look, man, it's really junior high school-ish, okay? Can we just get to the bottom line? I am not anti-bromance, but this is starting to make me anti-bromance. Will you just sign the guy and get it the hell over with, okay? And I don't know how the hell you guys are going to fit him in the roster anyway. You have 8 wide receivers. And you like all of them. Is there such a thing as a wide receiver that Sean McVay doesn't like? I'm a Rams fan. I find them to be really entertaining, but what are you doing? Get it over with. By the way, Andrew Whitworth, he's going to stay retired. Now, the Cowboys, they made overtures. They had their own starting left tackle. The guy got hurt. Left tackle would have been manned by a rookie, still will be manned by a rookie. Whitworth joked that the Cowboys needed to talk to his wife to try to convince her that he should unretire. And Dallas was like, nope, we ain't going to trust no man who follows his woman. We're going to go in another direction. So those hillbillies, they signed All-Pro Jason Peters, who, by the way, is 40. So I don't know how many 40-plus-year-old linemen you would trust other than Andrew Whitworth. But, hey, not my call. David Price is going to the injured list for the Dodgers. He has left wrist inflammation. It's affecting his grip strength on the baseball. It's a 15-day stint. So be it. If you are wondering, though, about the Dodgers bullpen, what I can tell you, it's slightly good news. Kimbrel came out in Sunday's game. Granted, it was a booty kicking, but he pitched a 1.23 ninth. That dropped his ERA under 4. Which is still terrible. I understand. I can't not make that sound unterrible. One of the Dodger analysts for Spectrum Sportsnet, a former big leaguer, Jerry Hairston Jr., he got on Cody Bellinger big time over the weekend, especially considering this batting stance. He's like complaining that the bat is too flat and it takes him away from getting some power in his swing. Hairston just went off. Now, I can appreciate this guy saying these things. I can appreciate the frustration. I can appreciate letting loose. We all let loose sometimes. Here's my problem with what Jerry Hairston said. I'm guessing hitting coaches with the Dodgers told him to have a flat bat. He's been, according to Dave Roberts, Bellinger has been following all the instructions to a T from what the Dodger hitting coaches have said. So Hairston's complaint shouldn't be with Bellinger, it should be with the coaching staff. And by the way, he's not a coach. So that's on them. But it did get me to thinking. We know Bellinger's had a tough go of it for the last couple of seasons. We know he was an MVP and then all of a sudden fell off the map. And we don't really know why. But why are you crapping on Bellinger now? And then I realized, when they traded for Joey Gallo, they were thinking, well, Joey Gallo's not hitting the lights out, but at least he's going to hit better than Cody Bellinger if Bellinger's woes continue. Not happening. Gallo got off to a great start, right? But Gallo is only hitting 193 since he came to the Dodgers after the trade deadline. So he started off pretty good. So there's still a hole in the Dodger lineup. They're putting up runs, but there's still a hole there. The Chargers, cornerback J.C. Jackson, quote, is working out. He's trending positive, according to Coach Brandon Staley. Now, he said that he's working out, but he's still in a walking boot. So we have no idea about the season opener against the Raiders. We don't know if he'll be out there. Just wanted to keep that up to date for you guys. So there was an LA Times college football columnist who said just for kicks, he's going to put out a, quote, future Big Ten conference rankings. Because after all, USC and UCLA are going to the Big Ten. What would happen if that wasn't in 2024? What would happen if it were now? Well, to him, he believes that USC is third. The third best team in the Big Ten right now, after Ohio State and Michigan. Which is kind of interesting, I must say, because I thought the Big Ten was all that in a bag of chips. You're telling me that USC rebuilt on the fly and they're just this shy of catching Michigan and Ohio State? Really? Aren't we over the skis just a little bit? USC looked great Saturday, don't get me wrong, but that was Rice, right? That wasn't Wisconsin out there. I would say, though, it would be interesting to be just behind Michigan. Remember, Michigan is coached by Jim Harbaugh, who is a noted nemesis of USC. And oh, by the way, where does UCLA rank? 10th. What? The guy ranked UCLA 10th behind Iowa, a team that couldn't even score a touchdown. They have more safeties than touchdowns this year. And UCLA isn't better than that? Hey, what do I know? I could be wrong. I was really impressed by the speed of freshman running back Raleek Brown, the cockiness, the swag. He scores a touchdown. He does the Heisman pose. The crowd went bananas. But I do want to tap the brakes a little bit on the hype. Here's why. USC runs the air raid, and as a result of running the air raid, you often do not have a tight end, which means eventually you're going to need somebody to block. Now, I'm not going to say that Raleek Brown can't block or can't eventually block. He is a freshman. He's not all that. He's going to need more meat on his body at some point. He's got to hit the weight room. You know who is prepared to do that? Travis Dye, who did so when he was playing in Oregon. Remember, he transfers from Oregon. Oregon became a physical football team. And because Travis Dye is a senior, he's going to be able to read the blitz with a little bit more efficiency than a freshman would. So Travis Dye, yeah, I still think he's going to be the man in the long term. I was talking with a viewer yesterday about Kalen Bullock, the safety who had 6 tackles, a pick 6. He was a surprise starter at safety, and we were wondering, how much of an impact did he make? According to defensive coordinator Alex Grinch, quote, "We talk about being an effort-based defense. The sky is the limit for Kalen. He's an elite dude." So yeah, that was everything that you guys saw out there on Saturday. It was a terrific performance. Journeyman shooting guard Jody Meeks, formerly of the Lakers, will retire as a player after a summer tournament that I've never heard of, which pretty much describes his career in a nutshell, wouldn't you say? Also, an NBA executive called the 2 Lakers first-round picks that may be traded if there is a bigger trade for Russell Westbrook. You've always read about this. Oh, they'll take Russell Westbrook if they can get a couple of first-round picks. You've heard that, right? This executive called those 2 first-round picks the most powerful thing as far as picks go in the league right now. Everyone expects them to be top picks, and if you can get them unprotected, everybody wants those. And this leads to the question about NBA trades in total. You want to get equal value. So you're sending a 9-time All-Star who, granted, stinks now. I acknowledge that. And his expiring contract, and the teams want 2 picks. How the hell do you possibly get value for sending away that much value? That is the problem with all of these NBA trade rumors that you read about, that you hear about on sports talk radio. And that's why I don't try to create my own rumors. Because 99.9 of them are just somebody with a jar of Vaseline and a sock in a back room. That's how much it's worth. It's not worth reading about. We'll only read about it when we know it comes from legit news sources. Now, if you enjoyed today's broadcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We are trying to build things here for LA Sports. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corta El Queso production. Take care.